We will embark on the quest to fight the medieval menace, and we will be victorious.
I don't know what I'm doing. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about The Kid Who Would Be King. I saw this trailer, I saw what this movie was going to be. I was one of two minds. The first mind is, well, this film could be cute and nice for kids. The other mind is that it could be a complete and utter misfire. I did not know which direction it was going to go, but I was excited because Joe Cornish is the director. If you guys don't know who this guy is, Joe Cornish is the director of a little movie in 2011 called Attack the Block. What an awesome, underrated film. So I was excited to see what he could bring to a story like this, and I saw the people involved, such as Patrick Stewart. I'm like, okay, maybe this thing has something going for it. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the film and then give you guys my score. Let's talk about The Kid Who Would Be King. So a band of kids embark on an epic quest to thwart a medieval menace, and this movie is an absolute utter delight. Sorry I'm spoiling my thoughts this early, but I just had a smile on my face from beginning to end because it's rare you see a movie come out, oh, it's another retelling of the King Arthur story. How many times just in the last 5 to 10 years have we seen this story on the small screen, on the big screen, done over and over and over without any new flair or flavor to it? Sure, some people liked the King Arthur movie a few years ago. I didn't hate it, but it was the same story, and while this takes elements of that story, it switches it up and it pushes it towards a new intended audience. And clearly, for me anyways, the audience for this film will be children, will be kids, but it transcends that. It is good enough to where if you're taking your kids and you're rolling your eyes like, oh, I have to watch another kids movie, there are things in there that adults are going to absolutely love, and there are really dark elements that I do believe will scare some kids. If your kid is a bit too young and maybe gets scared very easily, I would refrain from maybe taking him or her to a theater to see this film. Maybe wait till it comes out on DVD. That way the kid can hide his eyes when he gets scared or run out of the room when she can't take anymore. Watching this film on DVD would be perfect for that situation. But if your kid's like 8 to 10 to 12 years old, if they've watched something like Lord of the Rings, then sure, take them to this movie because that's what I'm going to call this film. Maybe not on that level of quality, but this is like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones for kids. There are even moments in this movie when I thought, that is very similar to what Peter Jackson was doing for adults. This is a version that I think if I was growing up, if I was that age watching this movie when I was this young, I would have died over this movie. I would have walked out of that theater glowing, loving every second of it because it's a little scary. It's pushing the limits just a little bit, but there are characters that you love. There are people in there that you look up to, and the story itself, you learn so many lessons along the way, and that's exactly what a movie like this should do. That's exactly who it's intended on entertaining. It is a movie for kids, but it's also a movie that adults can enjoy, I think will enjoy, because there are cute moments, there are dark moments, there are scary moments. There are moments where you're like, whoa, am I really getting this attached to these little kids? I mean, what do they know? And then the farther you go out through the movie, you're like, over the adults in the film, this kid is right. I believe what he is saying to be true because you just trust the wisdom and you trust in their relationship. Our main two kids here, it is and another comparison to Lord of the Rings, a Sam and Frodo relationship. They even mention it and the nods to so many different comic books and graphic novels and movies in this movie. They talk about Star Wars and superheroes. It's great, and you buy that because the pop culture references, that's something that kids do on a daily basis, and this movie gets it right. It gets it right for adults, it gets it right for kids, and I just think it nails it in all of those aspects. Now, sure, there are going to be 23, 24-year-olds walking into that movie like, oh, I don't know anything else that I'm going to watch. I'm going to go in there by myself and see The Kid Who Would Be King, and they're going to walk out saying, well, that wasn't a movie intended for me, right? And then there are going to be other 23-year-olds that go into that movie by themselves with a bunch of kids surrounding them and stuffing popcorn in their face, enjoying it, having a great time because of how surprised I was at the story. Yes, the story is really good. The character arcs are great. You buy these kids in these roles. There's one stand out in particular. I'll get into that in just a second. But the technical elements. The music is great. It fits so well with a story like this, and something that I rarely ever say for a film in this respect is the cinematography done by the mastermind Bill Pope. He did The Matrix and The Jungle Book and Spider-Man 2, and he brings his flair. Some of the camera angles and even the shot selection in general, I'm sitting there like, yes, they tried. The detail here is magnificent. A lot of the time, you will see a movie like this. It will come out, it will go away, you won't remember that it ever came out. Not because it's horrible, it's just because it never paid attention to the details. It didn't do enough to leave a mark, an imprint on society, on kids, a movie that they're going to come back to years and years down the road. I think this could be that. I don't think it'll overperform at the box office. I don't even know if it's going to make all that much money, but I do think the kids that do see it and are up for something that goes a little bit darker, that's a little more adult at times, and they're ready to sit and take in a story like this, I think this is a movie they're going to come back to. And a movie that can do its job as well as this one did is a movie that has all of my respect. Probably saying this wrong. Angus Emery? That's how it's spelled. That's how I'm going to say it. I'm from Kentucky. I'm sorry. But this kid stole the entire movie. He played young Merlin. Older Merlin was played by Sir Patrick Stewart. He's good as always. But this kid stole the entire movie for me. He was very over the top, very over dramatic, but it fit for the character, and I really liked him. There were some things that I questioned by the end of the movie. I'm like, is this happening to where other people can see it, and what's happening with the adults and the situations? There were situations that the kids got themselves into, and they were never really explained or hit on ever again, and I wanted those questions to be answered, but once again, for the intended audience, they're not going to ask those questions. They're just going to say, am I going to get a resolution to the storyline? And you do, a really good one, a heartfelt one, one that showcases all of the characters, and that's what's most important. There were also certain lines of dialogue that did not land completely for me, and I do think some people are going to walk out saying, oh, that was completely and utterly a kid's movie. And I understand that. If you're not in tune with the first 15-20 minutes, then you're not going to be in tune with the entire movie. You're going to go as a chore for your children, but I do think they're going to enjoy it, and because of all of those things that I just said, I'm going to give The Kid Who Would Be King a 78%. One of the better movies I've seen this year. I hope it sticks around for a while. I hope it stays in my top 20, top 30. And first, I want you guys to comment down below, have you seen this film? Did I get you excited? Did you see it and were you disappointed? This is your space to talk about The Kid Who Would Be King. And second of all, if you want to see where this landed in my 2019 list so far, check out my Letterboxd link down below, where I am doing a live ranking constantly throughout the entire year of my 2019 movies watched. I believe this is the 15th or 16th movie I've watched this year. Still going strong later on tonight. I said I'm doing a Young Justice review, and that is coming, but I think I'm going to push that to tomorrow, because I'm watching the Ted Bundy documentary on Netflix, and I have to talk about it. I have to talk about it today. I don't want to push too many videos out, so that is coming tonight. Stay tuned to my channel if you want to hear about that. Tomorrow is my Kingdom review on Netflix and a review of Young Justice. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you very soon.